introduce the person of eminence, Professor Dr. K. Muthuchelian. Professor Dr. K. Muthuchelian is a world-renowned biology scientist with more than 30 years of teaching and research experience at different hierarchical levels, including professor, head and chairperson, vice chancellor. Currently, he is serving as the Pro-Vice Chancellor at the Anand Sagar University, Bangalore. He obtained his doctoral degree from the School of Biological Sciences, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, India. Subsequently, he had his postdoctoral research from University of Ancona, Italy. He has been conferred with prestigious Doctor of Science in recognition of his research accomplishment on biomass resource management and technology. He has been conferred with several fellowships from prominent foreign and Indian scientific societies, including International Energy Foundation Canada, the National Academy of Biological Sciences, Paleobotanical Society, Zoological Society of India, National Environment Study Academy and Indian Applied Association for Microbiologists. He has guided over 81 students for research and 4 scholars for postdoctoral program, and 43 candidates have been awarded with a PhD under his supervision. In these 3 decades of research experience with more than 30 research projects with leading international and national organizations including IUCN in Switzerland, ICTP Italy, University of Reading UK, EPA USA, BSA UK, Euroscience France, Third World Network Malaysia, the World Water Council France, the Global Mountain Biodiversity Assessment Switzerland, Instituto di Agrario San Michele Taranto Italy, and Nitrogen Fixing Tree Association Hawaii USA. MAB program and National Biodiversity Authority MOEF and CC. He has published more than 220 research articles, 25 books, 42 book chapters and more than 500 popular scientific research articles in SCI journal and magazines to attain his H index 23. Notably, he has authored 4 books of Uir Virimam, Biodiversity, the Current Status and Management in Tamil, and these books graciously was released by Honorable Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India, and His Excellency Dr. K. Roshaya, the Governor and the Chancellor Government of Tamil Nadu, widely appreciated by peace of scientists in the arena. Besides, he also involved in the steering committee in 12th State Planning Commission, Government of Tamil Nadu, and expert member in the Puducherry State Higher Education Council. He served as the chairman of NAC team visits in many institutions across India and an active member for different panel and committees in UGC, DST, MNREC, MOEF and CC. He received 40 prestigious international national awards into his academic credentials, including the first Indian science honored with the prestigious award by University of Ancona, Italy 1998, Lifetime Achievement Award in the Environmental Science, Food and Nutritional Science and Microbiology, twice the Merit of Excellence Award, Eminent Scientist Award, and Professor S. Kanayan Memorial Award. Tamil Nadu's Best Scientist in the Environmental Science by TNS-CST, the Best Scientist in the Environmental Management by Department of Environment, Government of Tamil Nadu, and he was awarded as the Best Vice Chancellor Award twice by the Indian Red Cross Society Tamil Nadu, and consequently awarded with Best Tamil Book in 2014 for Uir Virimam and in 2015 for Nulagam Arivalagu Nulaivayil in Tamil. The library, a gateway to knowledge by the Department of Tamil and Culture, Government of Tamil Nadu. He has brought academic and administrative reforms for vibrant administration and rigorous academic initiatives in his academic positions at various levels like Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Controller of Examiner, In Charge and Coordinator for the University with potential of excellence, a grant of 40 crores, member syndicate, Senate and Academic Council at higher educational institutions. During his tenure at Periyar University, in addition to creating a corpus fund of 80 crores, he established 5 new departments, 6 research centers, 4 constituent colleges and 3 government colleges. In addition, he has established several cells including All India Civil Service Examination Free Coaching Center, Health Center, Women's Welfare Center, NET Free Coaching Cell and Internal Quality Assurance Cell for the benefit of students' community. Further, he explored the possibility of establishing Meta University, the concept of benefiting the students and the scholars to utilize the facility from other institutions. During his tenure at Periyar University, more than 22,000 students have been benefited to the Career Counseling and Placement Cell. In the domain of introducing innovative frontier and academic programs and courses, Dr. Muthuchelian is in the forefront in the higher education learning institutions in the state. Indeed, he has a long-term vision for transforming the academic and administrative systems with vision, mode and approach. His work stands as a monument to the individual. Above all, he is a kind person with noble heart, ready to extend his helping hand to the needy at any time. He has earned a lot of encomium from various people, professionals, colleagues, and from the students also. It may not be out of place to mention here that he is the role model for the young scientist who aspires to reach a higher level. I now request Professor Dr. K. Muthuchelian to enlighten us with the knowledge.
And today, I think I would like to hint some points related to the research and development, what they mentioned in the National Education Policy NEP 2020. This is my focus of that. The sharing here. Being a biology scientist, I would like to share that what the National Education Policy focus on the research on that. And we know that whether to accept or not the national education policy, it is all in the perspectives of the everyone individual. But my opinion, is this necessary? Yes, yes, it is necessary and absolutely necessary for that. And so whenever everything is undergoing a change, why not in education too? To start from the first man height glide, and start from that we invented the first the man hot air balloon flight, and then to first engine powered air flight, and then first engine powered air flight, and then finally we invented, and then we have been doing a lot wonder in this space, that first privately funded human space flight in the spaceship. So similarly, every vehicle of that you could see that. So everywhere now change is going on. Why not we? Starting from the human evolution, that you could see that from the chimpanzee to a high-tech man. So everything you could see that in the evolutionary way the changes are going on. So similarly in the evolution in the higher education system also, that is in, I mean, Indian education system also has been changing everywhere. The bundle of books we carried, and then now I think with the tab or anything, the computer or thing, and this is the stage now we have been looking for that. So our classical education system has been completely started from the curricular education now to the digital education platform now we've been doing for that. So our modern education system is all based on the computer, based on the online, based on the virtual mode of the seminars and that. So everything in the electronic world of the system, I think completely we have been changing to a scenario from the we call it this traditional the slate system to the book system, and then book system to the now the tab system. So now the future of the education system is in India is completely of the electronic world. You could see here. So now everything I think now it is in a wheel. So we have to reinvent the wheel and discover. And unless we reach to a goal of that one, so disruption is the only key for that. We could see that we could identify that what is in the another world. We could see that. So take a leap or sleep. So I think we have to take, I think from the book culture to the electronic culture of that, we have to jump into that. So then only we can know all those. So whatever the change, I think we have to translate. So we must translate the change in the chance wherever we get and embrace the chance. And so here the change is inevitable for that. So here the timeline on the global education policy, we start from 1990 onwards. Every, I think, the set of the 10 years, I think we have been changing our scenario in the Indian education system. We started first in 1990 with the education for all, and then 2000, the same slogan, that education for all. And then in 2015, we started lifelong learning for all. And then now in 2020, we are expecting for the inclusive and equitable, the quality education. What we require is the quality education. I think we have to compete with the global standard. So what we wanted to have to promote the lifelong learning, then opportunities to be all. And then now we are shifting to other is the 2030. That's what the NEP focuses today. And we know the, as mentioned by the our senior colleague Tarin sir, so the research in India, as per just I am focusing the global statistics, out of the scientific workforce in India, compared to other countries leading in research, only is research, what I am focusing now, every 10,000 of the persons here, see, you could see that the United States 79, and then United Kingdom 79, Russia 58, China 18, and then see the situation of the India is we are only 4. Even we are far below than the Kenya. I think we could see that here. So the research workforce in India is still behind that That's why I think the NEP, the task force members have been, our academician, peer academic members have started to work more on the research point of this one. And here, I think the domestic and foreign patent applications, only the Avadam is only the filed applications in various countries. You could see that India is only, I think, only 17 per million people. Per million people of that we have only, 17. See, every 10,000, 10 lakhs of the people, we have only 17 applications filed in the patent. This is the situation, current situation of the global level of the statistics in the research. Even the R&D personnel per million people, we have only 366 when compared to Iceland, even which is very smaller than our the geographical area. We could see that 10,000, more than 10,000, and see that all the other countries in the state. So the R&D personnel per million people is very high in other countries, and then still we are in the comparable position is a very low. So when compared to the GDP as mentioned by Batnaban sir, and the GDP in the research and innovation investment is, I think, is very, very low. I could see that only 0.69% in India when compared to USA 2.8, then Israel 4.3, and then South Korea is 4.2 that. So realizing all this background with reference to the research and development, they focus more on the national education policy. The highlights here, I would like to highlight only the important about all those things. Anyhow, the MHRD has focused many things in the Ministry of Education with reference to the school education and the multimedia streams, and I think they have focused everything from the 10 plus 2 to, change to the other, the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 system. They are going to introduce in the new NEP, the vision of our Indian government. So similar way, I think the other higher education system, a 4-year degree of the multidisciplinary bachelor program to be preferred. I think they are focusing for that. So similar way, the research also. So what we need is the total top-rated global universities we wanted to highlight. So that is our main prime and objective of our the NEP to be focused for that. And then this is the transforming curricular and the pedagogical structure that. So this is the existing the academic structure from 2010 onwards. We have been doing all this of the 10 years plus 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 year system. I think in the new academic structure, we are going to have the 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 years of the structure in every way of the secondary stage. We have the multidisciplinary study, and then in middle stage, experimental learning, and then in the other third stage, we have the preparatory stage. We call it as the play, discovery, and actively based interactive session. And then fifth last is the fundamental, the foundational stage, the multi-way. So altogether, now the 21st century, I think we are leading to, I think, taking the country to a lead position. That is the vision of the NEP 2020. And what our Prime Minister has mentioned is the 3P goal of the NEP. I think soon we are going to realize this. I hope so. And the personal, professional, practice. So these are the 3P goal for that. Of course, we have the, as pointed out by our Prime Minister, the 5 pillars of the self-reliant India we have to focus in the next coming years, at least before 2030. The economy, quantum, and then infrastructure, the system technology driven, the demographic should be vibrant, and the demand for the utilization of the power demand, and then also the supply of all these things. So what we require is the roadmap ahead for that, and what we have to ask all the A. A means for ask, A for acquire, A for appraise, A for aggregate, A for apply, then assess. So these are the outcomes we are expecting in the evidence-based practice we wanted to highlight for that. So as come to the point, as I mentioned, the quality of the research, I think the outstanding research is a requisite for outstanding education development. So that will be focused according to the NEP here. Of course, the Kasturi Rangan committee has pointed out that many major problems currently faced in the higher education system since from the 2010 onwards, the last 10 years. One which they have mentioned about the focus of the specific problem related to the research is the lesser emphasis on research at most universities and colleges, and lack of competitive peer-reviewed research funding across the disciplines that the finding they I mean they found in the major problems of the research and the vision of the 2020 what they wanted to focus based on the constraints of the problems or issues in our the Indian subcontinent. They wanted to highlight one point mentioned here is the research component is the establishment of a national research foundation to fund for the outstanding peer-reviewed research and to actively seed research in the universities and colleges. So that is the focus for that. And so here they mentioned that what is the research. I think many of our senior colleagues has mentioned that the research intensive universities. So those two take place greater emphasis on teaching, but still conduct the significant research. But we have to focus either way three mode of the systems in the university we are going to adopt. But what we require is the more focus to at least equal importance of the teaching and research and more reliable and then get in the outcome based should be in the research with the universities are having the outcome. So at every higher education institutions will be provided with the opportunities for what they have mentioned in the policy is the internship with local industry that is much essential. That's why even in from the last 20 years we have been talking about the intent the industry institution linkages and then relations with the business and then artistics crafts persons, so as well as research internships with faculty and researchers at their own or the higher education institution must adopt for benefit of both the students and the research. And then also there is a paradigm shift in the 4-year program that also they focused as part of the degree with the national education policy is the research. So here the higher education institution will have the flexibility to offer different designs of the master programs for what they have facilitated. One is the a 2-year program with the second year will be devoted entirely to the research. It is one of the welcome suggestion and who have completed the 3-year degree bachelor program. It's a very good. And then next is the students completing a 4-year bachelor program with research as a major component. So there could be a 1-year master's program and later we can pursue. And third is there may be an integrated 5-year bachelor or master's program and from there undertaking a PhD shall be required either a master degree or a 4-year the bachelor degree. That is the prerequisite for the entering into the PhD program. So this sort of the flexibility they were given even starting from the undergraduate, they are given focus to the research. So to attain this higher, the highest global towards in the quality education, the model public universities with holistic and multidisciplinary education at bar with IIT and IIM. That is the focus they mentioned in the new education policy. They call it the MERU and multidisciplinary education and research universities that should be set up in the Indian subcontinent. So definitely this will help the higher standards for the multidisciplinary education across the India. So here the higher education the institutions will focus more on setting up the incubation center, the technology development centers in research, and then centers in frontier with the areas of the research, more focus for that, and then greater, as I mentioned, industry academic linkages that is almost missing here. So most of the Western countries they have been most related to the inclusive of the industry as one component for the every part of the syllabus curriculum and the learning outcomes they mentioned. So here are interdisciplinary research, including the humanities and social sciences, are most inevitable in the higher education system. So we have to make all together, as I mentioned, multidisciplinary. That means multidisciplinary, which includes science, arts, humanities, including the traditional, the English, the Indian language systems, and then Indian the heritage system. Everything should be undertaken. And now I think during this pandemic period, we have been realizing of the problems related to the infectious diseases, epidemiology, virology, diagnostics, instrumentation, vaccinology, and so on. So here, the higher education institution will develop a specific hand-holding, especially for the research mechanisms and competitions for promoting the innovation, the more towards the culture to be created among the students whether whatever may be the area of the research, either in the arts or science or humanities, the management, science, or anything, even in the health sciences, I think we got to give more focus for that. So, 9 research-based teaching strategies should be adopted. In earlier in days before, we used to have the research question that what they all focus for major is the content based, the contest based, the methodology based, and theory based, and all now has been shifted to the what the now changing and existing, and the existing changing will be have a more we need for the teaching education program currently we need. So that's why we have parallel for 9 research based teaching strategies, starting with the review and ending with the feedback from the stakeholders, from the students, from the alumni, from the parents, from the society. So that is the more requested for the 9 research-based teaching strategy we required currently now. We will see next that now the research is what they are focusing is it should be in a symbiotic in a symbiotic relation between teacher and researcher. Here the teacher may be the mentor, and the researcher will be either a researcher or a student. So I think we have to make it intercollated way that we have to make all the research work together. So what the research currently need focus for the student is the research should be research tutored. So here the curriculum emphasized learning is most focused, and the research based curricular emphasizes students undertaking in inquiry based learning. That is most important. Then research oriented curriculum emphasis teaching processes of the knowledge construction is important. And finally the research led the curriculum structured around the teaching subject content is all together. So what we require is the teacher student, the symbiotic relation should maintain in all or the focus of the students. Then only we will have a focused one, and students will be a target audience will get the benefit in a win-win situation. So what they require is the currently, as mentioned by Professor Tarin, so we should not confine to only in India. Our students should go abroad, and the abroad students should come to our Indian the laboratories and then institutions to learn what we have here. All that. So what they mentioned in the new the policy is the international research collaboration, for which they have mentioned one system is the credit transfer. So our Indian students can take some credits abroad, and the institution there is a an abroad institution or the global institution. So that will be brought to here and acquire the credits from the what they learn from the outside of the country, especially in the research, the collaboration through the students exchanges. So that credits will be acquired from the foreign universities will be permitted. So I think they have mentioned in the new policy wherever appropriate as per the requirements of the our Indian higher education institutions, that will also be counted. So that also be accumulated in our credit for the benefit of the students to pursue in the later for the employment and so on. So altogether what they mentioned are these catalyzing the quality academic research. So that is most important. I think the quality academic research is most important. For that, I think we have also emphasized that none of the 200 top universities, we have the list of that, except few the standalone institutes in India like IISc, IIT, and so on. But I think universities also take for lead in that country. So that's why they focus the new policies focus on the National Research Foundation. So this will be a robust ecosystem of research, perhaps more important than ever with rapid change occurs in the world today in the area of many things like climate change, population, biotechnology, including health, and then also the recent the advancement of the networking technology like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and then also the other techniques and technologies here. So the development of the research that should be the mindset of the country. I think we have to focus. I think it is addressed in the NEP. So the research and innovation both together at education institutions should be, cultured. It should be inculcated. So we know that it is a critical point. Of course, world best universities shows that the best teaching, the learning process, along with the research, I think they are taking care of the universities bring back, bring to a higher elevation position in the entire world arena. So much of the very best research in the world has occurred in multidisciplinary university settings for that. So realizing this situation, I think India has a long tradition, but of course we need the policy should be revamped, everything only focus on the research. So based on this, now the policy emphasized the establishment of a national research foundation, and overall the goal of this, the NRF, is the number one, to provide the reliable merit-based and equitable peer research funding. Of course, it is very important for pursuing the basic, fundamental, and then applied research in our country, and then helping to develop a culture research, a culture of the research in the country through a suitable incentives and recognition. That is most important. And then the understanding major initiatives to seed and grow research at every state university and other public institution where the research capability is currently limited. So that is the focus they are given based on the NRF initiation. So the NRF will competitively fund to all. I think that is most important. The funding of the NRF will goes to the all the universities and then government agencies, and then also taking part with the industry and then private and philanthropic organization. So all together we can make it collaborated way, that in a collaborated, concerted way, we can focus on the research and through the NARF they mentioned. So here the primary activities of the NRF will be more, as I mentioned, the funding competitive, as again the peer reviewed grant proposal, all types of across the countries in all disciplines. All disciplines include, which includes the multidiscipline area, and then we go to seed, grow, and facilitate the research at every academic institution, particularly at universities and colleges where research is currently a nascent stage. We have to, boost them to get and mentoring them for the research, and then be a liaison along with this NARF, and we should be recognized in the entire world, in the entire arena, in a global, recognized outstanding research and progress in the country. Of course, they have given some of the options for also the earlier funding agencies, the extramural funding agencies like DSP, DAU, DPT, ICR, ICMR, ICHR, so on, including the University Grants Commission, will function as such. I think there won't be any disturbance to the existing system. So here the NRF will carefully, even one class ahead, they have mentioned that this will also again carefully coordinate with other funding agencies like all these earlier said the organizations in our country. They will ensure the synergy of the purpose to avoid the duplication of the efforts. So there should not be any conflict between the NRF with the already existing the funding agency here. So the NRF will the whole governed body of the entire structure of the research. And the second part which I like to mention is the technology the use and integration. Of course, India is a global leader in the information communication, technology, including the space technology. Now I think we have been focused more on the digital India. Next to, I think, the Silicon Valley of the US, we have the Silicon Valley. We wanted to go to many Silicon Valleys in our country. So what we need is the technology. So technology play an important role in the improvement of the whole educational system. Apart from the research, we need to also transform some of the areas into technology driven, and for that what they mentioned is in technology. For that there is autonomous body should be set up. We call it the National Education Technology Forum. The Educational Technology Forum should be set up, and this will facilitate the science and technology together for planning, assessment, administration, and both for school and higher education. And that also they will focus in the new education policy. I think this is a very good theme, and also I think welcome suggestion. So this NETF definitely will provide the independent, the evidence-based advice to the central and state government agencies on technology-based the interventions. I think they'll focus and then build at intellectual and institutional capacities in education technology. And third is the envisaging of the strategic thrust areas in their own domain in the technology. And finally, it should be articulated the new directions for the, as I mentioned, research and innovation in the next coming years. So this, the NETF, TEF will main a regular and authentic data for the multiple sources of the including the education technology, and this will organize the focus is to organize many multiple regional national conferences. The focus on the research technology and then interventions based on the meeting and collated meeting, and then the discussion deliberations from the conferences workshops, and it's all will put together, and finally it will have the holistic to develop the national and international education technology, the researchers, benefit to the researchers, entrepreneurs, and the real practitioners. So what we require is also is the teaching learning e-content also to be, parallelly to be developed in all the languages of the region wise in the country. So that will be uploaded in the every part of that one. So what we required is the a paradigm shift that is most important, converting educational institutions and converting educational universities to research laboratories, enabling more innovation and creativity. And what we required is the more of the social labs we required to suit to the need of our the great country. So then only we will bring our country into a top 200 universities, and not only top in the education sector, and also bring to the, as mentioned by Darin, we will bring many laurels and credits by way of producing the many Nobel laureates from the our Indian subcontinent. So the knowledge is power, less dissipate to build a healthy and resourceful society through the education and research. So research is the very much essential, and is focused very much in the NEP 2020, and we will going to harvest the real fruit of the research outcome through the national education policy.